Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss with you the most important topic from the organic chemistry paper, that is NMR spectroscopy. In the today's lecture, we are going to focus on the introductory part for NMR. First of all, we will discuss the name suggests for this. N means nuclear, N means magnetic, and R means resonance. Okay, as the name suggests, that is nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. Beyond all the spectroscopies, this spectroscopy has much more importance. Why it is much more importance? This is going to study. First of all, the scientist Purcell and Bloch independently invented or developed the magnetic nuclei when subjected to applied magnetic field, called is as abbreviation as H0. What happens here? According to Purcell and Bloch, when magnetic nuclei are subjected to applied magnetic field, at that time the absorption of energy takes place at a unique combination of field strength and frequency of irradiated radiations in which range? In radio frequency range called as 60 to 600 megahertz. Okay, after absorbing, when the frequency of incident radiations of electromagnetic radiations when equals with appreciational frequency from the radio frequency, then and then only there is appearance of successive peaks. Okay, successive peaks, and from the nature or chemical environment behind these peaks, due to the number of protons, which gives rise to the structure of organic compound, and thus we can study the NMR spectroscopy in wide range of applications. Nowadays, NMR spectroscopy has got wide range of applications and importance in elucidating or determining the structure of given organic compound other than the other spectroscopies like UV and IR. Now, before seeing this NMR spectroscopy, one must understand what is the meaning of magnetic and non-magnetic nuclei. Before seeing this magnetic and non-magnetic nuclei, NMR spectroscopy is divided into two types. First is PMR spectroscopy, and second is C13 NMR spectroscopy. When spectroscopy by using the proton, for example, hydrogen atom element consists of one proton. When this hydrogen nuclei are subjected to radio frequency at a unique combination of a field strength and frequency of radiation, at that time excitation of magnetic nuclei under the presence of applied magnetic field takes place, and there is appearance of a peaks, and from that peaks one can determine the structure of organic compound. Here we can use the protons. Therefore, instead of NMR, it is also called as proton magnetic resonance spectroscopy. When the NMR spectroscopy is studied by means of carbon-13 as an isotope, at that time this spectroscopy is also called as C13 NMR spectroscopy. C13 NMR spectroscopy is about 50% similar to this PMR spectroscopy. Now, before going to in detail, we must know what is meant by mass number, atomic number and magnetic nuclear. For that purpose, consider the example. Suppose in an atom there is a presence of a nucleus. Nucleus is a positively charged. There are certain kinds of electrons which are revolve around this nucleus in a circular path. That path is called as orbital. Okay, and that orbitals in which the electron revolves around the circular path, that path is also called as a shell or stationary orbits. They are denoted by the letters K, L, M, N and so on. Okay. Now this is a positively charged nucleus. Okay. In this nucleus, two kinds of things are present, which is, okay, nucleus contains protons and neutrons. Protons are positively charged, while revolving around the nucleus, electrons are negatively charged particles. Okay, while the neutrons are chargeless. Okay, now we will discuss about number of protons plus neutrons is what is meant by a mass number, what is meant by a atomic number. According to protocol, each element is expressed according to the designation as ZXA. Okay, here X is the symbol or element. Okay, Z is the atomic number and A is the mass number. Now we come to the definition, please. Mass number denotes the number of protons plus neutrons. Okay, this is the symbol for the element. For example, hydrogen, helium, neon, argon. Z is the atomic number, that is from 1 to 114. All of you know very much Z is equal to atomic number. Okay, Z is nothing but that is the number of protons. Okay, that is A is called as mass number and Z is called as atomic number. Now what is the definition of atomic number? Number of protons present in the atoms is called the atomic number, which is designated as the letter Z. Now according to the element of considering any of the element, each and every element has a spin quantum number. Okay, spin quantum number have already the two values and spin quantum number is denoted by the letter that is equal to I. According to resultant spin of a nucleus, whether the given nuclei are magnetic or non-magnetic, it can be determined by using the value of I. Okay, how it is determined? See here. When I is greater than 0 and I is equal to 0. Okay, when I is resultant spin, I is greater than 0, at that time the nuclei are called as magnetic nuclei. They can align with same direction of applied magnetic field. When I is equal to 0, it is called as non-magnetic nuclei. They do not align with applied magnetic field. Here AMF stands for, just remind for you, that is applied magnetic field. Okay, now we will discuss the examples of magnetic and non-magnetic nuclei with I values. Okay, by considering its mass number and atomic number. See here. Examples of magnetic and non-magnetic nuclei. Okay, for that purpose we have, first is atomic number, second is mass number, okay, third is I value, and fourth is about example. Okay, now first is atomic number. When it is odd, mass number is denoted by the letter A, atomic number is denoted by the letter Z. What happens? See here. Then here also odd, here also even. And third type is about, that is here even also and here odd. Okay, and last point is about even and here even. Odd happens. When atomic number is equal to odd and mass number is also equal to odd, I have the values that is equal to 1 by 2, 3 by 2, 5 by 2, 7 by 2, etc. When atomic number is even and mass number is also odd, also have I is equal to 1 by 2, 3 by 2 and 5 by 2. When atomic number is equal to odd and mass number is equal to even, just case opposite to that, that is I is equal to values 1, 2, 3 and 4. And when both the atomic numbers and mass numbers are even one, what is the value for I? That is I is equal to 0. And when I is equal to 0, it is called as, what is it is called as? That is non-magnetic nuclei. First of all, we come from the bottom level here, that is the example for atomic number is equal to even, mass number is even, that is equal to, the example is 2He4, okay, 6C12, 8O16, okay, both are the values are even one. Now come to the first point. What is the first point here? That is both are the odd. Atomic number is odd. Okay. First is 5, boron, odd 11, 7 and 15. Okay. Now atomic number is even. Okay. 6, C 13. Okay. 8, O 17. Okay, mass number is equal to odd. You come to your mind in the precaution is that is this value is value of a atomic number, this is of a mass number. When atomic number is equal to odd, that is equal to, first we come to say that is equal to 5, boron, okay, even, that is equal to 10, okay, then 7 and 14 even, then 9 F 18. Here also we can take here as 9, okay, here we can take it as 9 F 19. Also, okay. Now, again I am reminding to you the examples of magnetic and non-magnetic nuclei. Now, the shaded portion here, what is this shaded portion is nothing but the example of a non-magnetic nuclei. Why? Because I value is equal to a 0, 1. That is 2He4, 6C12 and O8 oxygen 16. Okay. Now, when atomic number is equal to odd, magnetic number is also equal, mass number is also odd. We have the values I is equal to 1 by 2, 3 by 2, 5 by 2 and etc. Examples are 5 boron 11, 7 nitrogen 15 and so on. When atomic number is equal to even, mass number is equal to odd, again we have same I values, but the examples are different one. These of isotopes are here. 6C13, 8 oxygen 17. Now, the atomic number is odd and mass number is even. At that time, the spin quantum number I have the values, that is 1, 2, 3 or 4. 5 boron 10, odd. Atomic number here, atomic number odd, mass number even, atomic number odd 7 and 14. Thus, first three are called as magnetic nuclei. Magnetic nuclei. And last example is nothing but the example of a non-magnetic nuclei. Okay. Now we come to our original spectroscopy, that is called as PMR spectroscopy. Why NMR spectroscopy is called as a PMR spectroscopy? See here. When hydrogen nuclei are subjected to absorb the radiations such as electromagnetic radiations at a unique combinations of field strength and the frequency of radiations. At that time, this hydrogen nuclei under the presence of applied magnetic field, they get excited. Why they are excited? That is the frequency of electromagnetic radiations. It just matches to frequency of precessional motion of a nucleus of a hydrogen. At that time, there is a appearance of a nuclear resonance, and thus the denotion of a peaks due to the presence of different kinds of a protons, and from the peaks of certain chemical shift values, one can determine the structure of an organic compound. Now the question arises, when and why hydrogen nuclei are subjected to unique combination of field strength and frequency of irradiation? Because hydrogen nuclei contains one proton. See here, this is the nucleus. There is a one proton here, and then when this nucleus is spins about this axis, spins about its axis, it can generate the magnetic movement vector, that is equal to mu0 in upper direction. Therefore, this nucleus acts as a tiny bar magnet. Therefore, it is suitable for irradiating a radio frequency range that is equal to 60 to 600 megahertz. Now we come to understanding the principle behind the behind the NMR spectroscopy. Principle. In this principle, there are 4 points. When there is a net absorption of energy by hydrogen nuclei, H2 nuclei, at a unique combination of, again I am repeating, at a unique combination of field strength plus frequency of irradiated radiations under the presence of applied magnetic field, under the presence of applied magnetic field, excitation of hydrogen nuclei, which in turns the next process occurs, and that is called as flipping of the state of an electron. Okay. Now, under such conditions, when applied magnetic field is present, at that time, whatever may be the spin of an electron possess, it can change its spins from lower level to higher level by absorption of energy. And which will give rise to number of peaks, and by understanding the peaks, one can elucidate the structure of given organic compound. Now, what are these criteria? For understanding these criteria, one must know what is meant by a spinning of a nucleus, okay, magnetic moment vector, what are the spin values for a proton in presence of applied magnetic field, whatever the values in lower energy level, higher energy level, that is energy's values, that is E is equal to mu into H0, what is meant by flipping, and what is meant by precessional motion, and last, what is meant by nuclear magnetic resonance. When and when we will talk about these terms, we will easily understand the NMR spectroscopy in detail. Now just start up to the spinning of a nucleus. See here, first point. Spinning of a nucleus. Okay. Already we know that this nucleus is a positively charged species. When it spins, okay, when it spins about its axis, it generates its O1 magnetic moment vector. Okay, and that magnetic moment vector in all the directions when there is no applied magnetic field. Now the directions for these magnetic moment vectors are, directions are here. Here, this is the nucleus. Here, this is the nucleus. This is the nucleus also. I can show you the rough diagram. Okay. That is directions for of magnetic moment vector. These are the all possible directions for magnetic moment vector in absence of applied magnetic field. Now what happens? When the nucleus spins about its axis, it generates magnetic moment mu, and vector is called as mu bar. And thus this nucleus acts as a tiny bar magnet. Tiny bar magnet. Now what situation is done after when this positive charge nucleus is under the presence of applied magnetic field? What happens? See here. Under such conditions, when applied magnetic field, the nucleus of a proton, by considering the hydrogen example, proton having the two possible orientations due to one proton according to the formula 2I plus 1, that is equal to 1 proton, therefore it has the spin that is equal to 1/2. Okay, therefore putting I is equal to 1/2 here, 2 into 1/2 plus 1, that is equal to 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2 orientations. Okay, which are the 2 orientations? That is the first one is a lower energy level, the second one is a higher energy level. Now when the applied magnetic field is present under such kind of nucleus which can develop its magnetic moment vector, what happens? The energy level diagrams are here. When the positively charged nucleus spins about its axis, it can generate its magnetic moment vector in this direction, or this direction. When the applied magnetic field is applied under the nucleus, it has two possible directions. Either it aligns with same direction of applied magnetic field, that is, it can parallel with the applied magnetic field, direction same, and are either align with perpendicular to applied magnetic field, that is, align with the opposite direction. This direction is here and this direction is here. Therefore, these two directions are opposite to here. Therefore, this nucleus can have two orientations. First, it can align with same direction of applied magnetic field, or it can align with opposite direction of applied magnetic field. The nucleus in which align with same direction of applied magnetic field having the lower energy, and it is called as a stable nucleus. While when the nucleus aligns with opposite direction of applied magnetic field, it has the higher energy and it have the values that is equal to a higher energy, and it still is a unstable one. Okay, thus we have discussed here the possible orientation of nucleus under the presence of a applied magnetic field with positively charged nucleus by considering the hydrogen example. In next lecture, we are going to discuss the flipping, precessional motion, secondary field, and the nuclear resonance. Thank you.